What are things men have to go through that women do not understand nor have empathy for? I'm 19 years old and just the last couple of months I've been struggling with these feelings of dread as I realize that for the rest of my life I have to spend most of my time doing one thing. Work. Work, 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 work and more work. Day in and day out I will have to toil and labor 6 days a week just so I can live a normal life. I'd already been working full-time for about 6 months, but it had only just caught up to me that this was my life now. My parents knew something was up. I wasn't as happy as usual and just wanted to be alone all the time. I eventually told them what I felt and these were their respective responses. Mom, you need to work so you can provide for your family? You're a man now, that's the reason? I'm 19. That's ages away. I want to be out with my mates drinking and chasing girls and having a good time. Instead of working a full day and coming home, and having just enough time to get ready for the next day and go to bed. Doing this months on end made me feel so lonely. I barely had enough time and energy to hang out with my mates and the relationships were slowly dying. Having a family seemed so far away that it wasn't helpful advice at all. My grandma said something similar, JP, you're an adult, and from now on you're just gonna work and work and work. Gee, that's comforting. That's the only advice I got from the women of my family. Actually, it wasn't advice, it was just them speaking the cold hard truth. Zero empathy, because that's what they expect from an adult male. Work and provide for your wife and kids. It's safe to say that I felt twice as bad after they told me that than before. When I talked to my dad and grandfather, they came with completely different responses. Dad, son, work with a purpose, the biggest blessing life could ever give you. I know you're stressing right now, but the day you can find meaningful work, then you'll be happy and never look back. This bit of advice really changed my perspective on the dull outlook I had. Grandpa, mate, back when I was your age I went through the exact same stage. I didn't want to work for the rest of my life, but that changed when I finally found a job that gave me purpose. This stunned me that my 80-year-old grandpa went through the same stuff I did. My dad and grandpa knew and understood exactly what I was going through because they went through it themselves and came out on top, while my mom and grandma didn't have a clue what was going on in my head. This is why having a male figure in a boy's life is so important. Edit. Thanks so much for the awesome comments and the good, sound, down-to-earth advice that some of you have given me. Very much appreciated. There are lots of comments, so I'm just going to address them all. 1. A lot of people have pointed out that women also work. This is true. What I described is slowly becoming less common for just the dudes, as the world becomes less traditional and the chicks join the workforce. 2. I'm not having a whinge or complaining about work, so please don't tell me to grow up, toughen up, stop being a wussette. These comments mostly came from middle-aged women. I was simply describing a feeling I had and how the different genders reacted when I told them. Telling me to grow up is just the same as telling a person who's feeling sad to be happy. I have also been working in construction and on farms since I was 14, all during the school holidays. I might not be a mature adult yet, but I know how to work hard. 3. My mom and grandma are traditional. Both stopped work for a good 20 or so years to raise 5 kids each. This is probably why they gave the responses they did when I told them about my dilemma. But there are no softies. I can tell you that. Both nurses, they have seen some seriously mess up shit and work very hard. My grandma birthed all her kids in the jungles of Papua New Guinea. I also love them to death, so please don't write rude comments about them.